So my favorite afternoon little snack, like a little pick-me-up, is a goat milk, which I use preferably because it's so much easier to digest than regular milk. Yummy. You know, I like to start my morning with a glass of lemon water. So it's very simple. You take a half a lemon. I'm the queen of lemons, just because they have so many health benefits. It alkalizes the gut. It's cleansing. It has a lot of nutrients in it. So it's just a great way to start your morning.
Lemon water is a great way to start your day. There are a number of benefits that you can get from it. Lemon water contains vitamin C, which is a powerful antioxidant that helps with your skin. Lemon water also can aid with digestion. The acidity or the acid in lemon water can supplement your stomach acids, which decrease as you get older, and that may help with digestion. And lemon water can also help prevent kidney stones.
You know, I don't really drink coffee. I love matcha with goat milk. So I usually do that, but always maybe like 15 minutes after I have my lemon water. Yummy.
Matcha is basically like green tea, except instead of putting a bag of tea leaves in to create your tea, you actually use the whole leaves, typically crushed up. So you are getting much more antioxidants than you would technically get with regular tea, and on top of that, usually you get a lot more caffeine. So those people who are trying to switch from coffee to tea, a lot of times they do better with matcha because you get more of that caffeine buzz.
After my lemon water, I do oatmeal. Just because it's easy, it's quick, it really gives you great energy to get through your morning. And then I really think that we don't have enough fat anymore in our diet. So I always put a little bit of organic butter with this cute little butter dish that Gigi made.
I definitely recommend butter that is made from grass-fed cows, and that's because that type of butter actually has better fats than butter that is more conventionally created. Kerrygold is a good brand of butter if you're looking for one.
I like to put a little bit of almonds on it, just to add a little protein. Then I like to use different fruits. Right now I'm into strawberries just because it's very low in sugar. Sometimes I put organic honey.
So I love the almonds because now you're adding protein. So you start with the oatmeal, which is kind of plain and it's carb rich, but it's got good fiber. You add the good fat in it in the form of the pat of butter. She's also adding strawberries because now you've got the added antioxidants, which is great as well. But honey, in my opinion, because it's natural, a lot of people think that honey is great for you, so they use a lot of honey. But honey is still sugar. So even though it's better than just putting, let's say, table sugar into your oatmeal, it's still something that you should consider using sparingly.
But then I also like to use stevia. And if you can get used to the taste, I think it's a much better and healthier choice than white sugar.
So in my opinion, stevia is better than some of the other sugar substitutes, but it's still a sugar substitute. It's still super, super sweet. And the concern that I have with using a lot of stevia is that it can get your taste buds accustomed to this extra sweet taste, and it can make you need to eat super sweet foods in order to satisfy that sugar craving. And that can cause you eventually to gain weight.
I also think it's important to take your time to eat breakfast. You know, you can do it in 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be an hour. But just this moment where you just check in with yourself before you start your day.
The benefit of this, of eating slowly, of eating mindfully, is it can help with your digestion. Now, our digestion starts with the saliva in our mouth, and it goes from there. And by eating your food more slowly, it allows your body to digest it more appropriately. Plus, by eating more slowly, you may eat a bit less. It gives your body, your brain, time for your brain and your stomach to interact and to signal each other saying, hey, I'm actually full. And the final thing is by eating slowly, you can reduce stress. There is this idea that if you eat mindfully and slowly and enjoy your food, it can add that element of enjoyment throughout your day and reduce your stress as well.
So for lunch, I always like to have a salad and some sort of protein. Today, I'm going to do a arugula salad. I'd like to make a curry chicken with some grapes in it, some onions, to just boil the organic chicken and put the curry and mayo and onions and celery and all that stuff.
Now, just from a personal note, I myself stopped eating chicken a few years ago. Now, she mentioned organic chicken, and I think that if you're gonna eat chicken, no question, I would recommend that you eat organic chicken because then you know those chickens are treated more humanely and they lead more of a chicken life versus a life in a tiny cage, tortured, short life like a lot of the conventional chickens are raised.
I do like it on top of my arugula salad. This combination of Brussels sprouts, some cranberries, a little bit of that on it, and then just a little bit of dressing that I made with olive oil, honey, little vinegar.
Well, if you take out the chicken from my personal standpoint, I think that sounds really good. She's got a lot of great antioxidants that are great for the skin. She's got good fats in the olive oil, and obviously that chicken does add good protein to the meal as well.
So my favorite afternoon little snack, like a little pick-me-up, is a goat milk, which I use preferably because it's so much easier to digest than regular milk.
Now, goat's milk is known to be easier to digest than cow's milk, and so because of that, it has been used as a substitute for cow's milk. It does taste very different though. The good thing about goat's milk is that it contains 89% less casein than cow's milk. Casein is one of the proteins in cow's milk that is believed to cause some of the more allergic inflammatory reactions. It also contains less lactose than cow's milk, and so by having less lactose in it, it's going to help it to be easier to digest.
So I like to make my dinner my lightest meal of the day. So I love to do any kind of soup. I make it easy and started with an organic chicken broth just for the flavor. I love, putting chopped garlic. I put my chopped carrots, onions, of course. I mean, best thing to flavor. Celery, and then a little bit of zucchini, which is also great for flavor. Salt and pepper, little baby kale. So this is Bragg's natural yeast, and I love the flavor of that.
I spent 3 months living in Spain when I was in college, and quite often our lunches would be big and our dinners would be small, quite often a soup like this and maybe a little bit of bread. So it reminds me of that. Now, at the end, she talked about the nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is really interesting because if you're not vegan, you may not have heard a whole lot about it. But nutritional yeast is something that a lot of vegans use because it is really filled with protein. In fact, 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast can give you 2 grams of protein. And so for vegans, it's a great source of it. The other benefit of nutritional yeast, especially for vegans, is B12. A lot of vegans can be deficient in B12 due to their type of diet, and nutritional yeast can give you that.
On a proper night, when everybody's home on time, I mean, they love their spaghetti bolognese, garlic bread, salad.
So just when you think that she is like uber healthy with her diet, she talks about spaghetti bolognese and garlic bread and things, which is more of a traditional meal that's got some good stuff and some not some good stuff for you. So it's actually good to hear because I think that we can't live all of our lives eating super healthy. I mean, some of us can, but the vast majority of us, we do have to splurge a little bit. I mean, you got to live and enjoy certain types of foods that just taste amazing, like spaghetti bolognese.
So I'm just going to leave this on the stove for about 30 minutes, 30-40 minutes, and then you have the perfect light dinner.
Looks good. I think that if I ate it, I would probably be hungry in about an hour and a half afterwards, but definitely a good light dinner. So what grade would I give Yolanda Hadid for her daily diet? I would give her an A-. I didn't give her an A because of the goat's milk. I'm not a big fan of that as a snack. But other than that, it appears that she has a very healthy diet. Well, what about Kylie Jenner? Does Kylie Jenner have as good of a diet as Yolanda Hadid? Take a peek at this video here where I react to Kylie Jenner's diet and what she eats in a day. You may be a bit surprised. It's very different than Yolanda's.